It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. Aren't you glad you're locked in at ESPNSA.com? Because we're always excited when we get to speak with a San Antonio Spur, a local hero. Danny Green's on our Low T Center hotline. Danny, man, how's your summer going?
It's going great, man. Can't complain. Just traveling a little bit, get a chance to rest. Working out a little bit now, getting back to it, but we got camp coming, so I'm excited.
Now, Danny, don't say traveling just a little bit. I follow you on social media. You just got back from China, man. How was that trip?
It was amazing. Tokyo was really clean. The fans were crazy there. And also in China, it was really nice. The buildings were lit up, very tall, and cheap shopping, so the girlfriend knows that. So,
load up on some shoes?
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
When I've found, Danny, when I've traveled, especially into Asia, everybody else gets stuff but me because I'm too tall, too big. I never can find clothes there. Did you have better luck?
Yeah, well, you can actually get custom stuff there for cheap. So you have to find a certain area, a little department store, usually in the hole-in-the-wall type place. And you can get, custom shirts done, custom suits, jackets, all types of stuff for really cheap, like, $100 or so. You'd be surprised.
So next year we're going to see your suit game on the next level, huh?
We won't let Phil Zavala know anything about this.
Well, I have to make a couple more trips to China, but it should be a little better than what it was.
He is Danny Green. He's on our Low T Center hotline enjoying his summer. You said you just went traveling. How long after your last game does it take you for your body just to get back to where you're about normal? Is it a month? Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah, at least a month for most guys. Everybody at this point in the season, at the end of the season, cutoff time, have bumps and bruises or some type of injury. Depending on what it is, it may take longer, but usually most guys take at least a month. I had a PRP shot, so taking a little longer for the groin to heal. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty solid right now, getting back to moving around and working out more.
Danny, tell us about last season. Now that it seems like the season ended for the Spurs forever ago. Last season was just weird for us on the outside. What was it like for you guys on the inside?
Just as weird. It was a take it day by day type of thing. We didn't know what was going to be happening, what was going on. A lot of times we were just as informed as you guys. We didn't know what the situation of Kawhi was going on. Certain guys getting hurt, certain guys in and out. So many ups and downs, lineup changes. We were just kind of adjusting on the fly. And then at the end of the year, of course, the whole situation with Pop and his wife, it was tough. It was very tough, and it was very weird. And just as weird for us as it was for you guys.
That's Danny Green. He's here on ESPN San Antonio. We're talking about last season. The Pop situation. His wife, her sad passing was horrible for all of us. As you get further and further away from the season, is it that you're going to remember about the 17-18 season? Is it the Kawhi thing? Is it the early playoff exit? I'm curious what the players are going to remember about the season, a specific thing.
I think all the above. They're all pretty important events for a season. Just of how tough it was for us. I think we remember how we started out pretty well, but how it got kind of rocky and shaky, how things up and down, and the reasons why. All those reasons, some of them maybe distractions, some weren't. Some were just us not having full health. Us not having our leader. A bunch of things. I think we still kind of fought through and showed some character and played pretty well and made it to the playoffs. Played decently in the playoffs. Also, we thought we could have did better and did more, but so at that point in the season, everybody's banged up and low on numbers, low on bodies. It was tough for us, but I think we showed some character.
Danny Green here on ESPN San Antonio. You talk about the Kawhi situation now that the season's over, the stories that we're hearing. I know Adrian Wojnarowski has one today talking about how the meeting is coming up, that he was in town. Everything seemed okay when all the players got together to celebrate the life of Aaron Popovich. How often do you talk to Kawhi? Do you know what his mindset is right now?
No, I don't right now. I don't. I talk to him every here and there. As the summer's been out, we don't see each other, talk to each other as much as we used to. We're around each other every day. From my understanding, I think he's away right now. I text him here and there, so we get responses from guys. I talk to Rudy, I talk to Marcus. Everybody's in different countries. Excuse me. Guys are on different coasts. Some guys are in different countries. It's hard to communicate and be on the same time frame as everybody else. But we get back to each other when we can. I hear back from here and there, but I don't know what his mindset is right now.
Well, obviously, the Kawhi situation is first and foremost on a lot of the Spurs fans, but there is you, Danny. You do face a summer where you have a decision to make. Where do you sit on your future?
Right now, it's getting closer to making a decision for me. I just talked to my agent today. We're trying to figure out a couple things, but so we're trying to see what the best situation is for me. Right now, the market's very different. It's probably not the best summer to be a free agent. It's probably the guys who last summer and the summer before, the best time to be up. That's when the TV money hit and there were, teams were giving out good amount of money. Right now, I think that's happening this summer coming up. So it's a different story, and it's things to figure out. But I have about a week or two, about 2 weeks to make a final decision, but I'll probably make my decision within the next week or so.
Yeah, you're better off than many. You're not unrestricted. You can say yes to a deal that's sitting there and go ahead and play this one through. You have that option. I'm curious what it's like for you. I mean, are you the type of guy that needs to talk to your agent every day to get some updates, or do you tell Duff just, hey, call me when there's some news? I mean, what's it like as you kind of sit in flux, as you were saying, for the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, I'm not that type of guy. I don't need that much attention. But I also need updates. So whenever you're hearing from different areas, different this, doing that, or what's new information, just keep me updated. So he obviously reaches out to me more often during this time than usual. But for the most part, I said we talk every here and there. But I said right now, it says updates more coming every couple of days or so, every week or so. And during the season, it's probably at least once a week we chop it up. But right now, obviously, more intense, more up-to-date stuff, more news, coaches hiring here, players going there, who's doing what moves this team is trying to make. So, definitely more talks now than there has been or ever usually during the season.
And obviously, you've got to make your decision before a lot of stuff actually gets put in concrete. Money aside, what goes into making a decision? I mean, if you think you can make a lot more, and I'm all for players making as much as they possibly can because you got such a short window to do it in, but then do you look at fit, basketball-wise, city, lifestyle? I mean, what are some things that are important to Danny Green when it comes to making this decision?
I think all the above, especially speaking for me, but for everybody, I think they go with fit, where you want to go be somewhere where you can play and and show, what you can do or have fun. Part of us being players and competitors is to be able to play at the highest level and have fun and be able to play our game and where it fits us, where we can be successful. Obviously, a city that's best for the family, you play your family into that situation. A lot of guys, winning is another thing, especially for me, but, most guys I think is another aspect of it. Some guys maybe not as much. They just want to maximize the dollar, but you kind of want to maximize the dollar in the best situation where you can win and have all those categories, at the same time, which is tough to do. It's hard to be in a great city, win, and make, the most money. It doesn't happen for everybody, but, some guys can be selected to do that. But, sometimes you have to give a little on one end, either give a little on the dollar end to win more, or you give a little more on, not winning so much and maximize more dollar. But, you try to get all those together at the same time.
Danny Green, San Antonio Spur, as we speak, though he does have a decision to make here in the next couple of weeks, whether he's going to opt into the last year of his deal. As we talk about the Spurs during the summer, you aren't alone in this. Rudy Gay also kind of in the same boat you are. Do you guys talk?
Mm-hmm. We do. I actually just texted him today, but I haven't heard back yet. We actually are in the same agency, so I had a little insight of what he might be doing.
You want to share that?
I'm just trying to double check. I would love to share it, but I'm not going to. That's Rudy's, his business to share. But, when he makes a decision, sure y'all know about it. But I just texted him to see if it was true or not, what was going on, and for certain, or where his mind was at. But, I had a pretty good insight, a feel of what he might be doing, recently in the next, couple of days or so.
How much does that factor in? Guys that you're with, that you've played with, that you like. If say Rudy says he's staying here, does that help you make a decision? Or if Rudy says no, I'm out, you text Manu, figure out what he's doing. I'm sure you call LeBron and figure out what he's doing. All that has to factor in, doesn't it?
The players moving certain places, leaving and going, definitely has an effect and factor in. But for the most part, end of the day, it's really a decision what's best for you. But some guys do. It does help. Sometimes it does hinder when guys stay or leave. It'd be nice to talk to those guys and get the information from everybody. But you're not going to be able to reach out and get those guys. They're all doing different stuff. But I said you just have to kind of worry about you and what's best for you. But I said his decision and other decisions also help you make your decision. So I said, unfortunately for us, we had to make a decision before free agency starts. But I think we have time to even watch the draft first before we can make a decision. So that might be helpful. But it's a tough situation where you can't get all the information you want in order to make the decision. You just got to do, what you got and make the best decision you think. And sometimes it's a risk. Most of the time it's a risk.
All the time, it's a risk. Now, I brought up LeBron, so I got to ask you because I know you're close with LeBron. I'm sure you saw DeJounte Murray tweet out the Photoshop picture of LeBron wearing a Spurs jersey. What if you were to count? I mean, just be one of the guys hanging out with us. What percentage do you put LeBron of actually wearing a Spurs uniform?
That's a good question, man. I haven't spoken to him like that. We see each other. We speak when we see each other. Obviously, there's a lot of love. But asking what's going on in his personal life or his business, what his mind is. When I was in Cleveland, I had no idea when he was leaving then. So I doubt he would share with me now what his mind is. But percentage-wise, I mean, obviously most San Antonio fans are hopeful. Even the guys on the team are hopeful. But percentage-wise, I don't know how well or how much he would adapt and adjust and love the city. I know he would love the fans, but I know he's the type of guy. If he were to leave Cleveland, it would be to a city where it would be like a Miami, LA, or a bigger city or a bigger market. If I had to assume, but I said I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
So you're kind of like me, kind of a 2%er. There's a little bit of hope, but not much.
That's exactly what that's me of what I know. I probably know 2% of what he knows or what his mind is. So I have no idea what that is. But so we all can be hopeful and figure it out. But the unfortunate part about it is we have to wait. I have to make a decision before those guys. Decision where they go on free agency. So it's hard to figure out and find out if some guys want to go this place or go that place and see what teams are making what moves. We won't know that until free agency. So we have to make a decision with that risk.
That is Danny Green. He is on ESPN San Antonio with you. He's on our Low T Center hotline talking free agency, talking the summer of LeBron and the summer of transformation, it appears, with San Antonio. Tony and Kyle and Davis and Bren, they're all unrestricted free agents. What's your expectation with those guys? How many of them, you don't have to name them, do you expect to see back on the Spurs next year?
That's a good question. I have no idea. It's going to be an interesting summer for all of them. I think they played very well and deserved and earned themselves a nice little check. But it also depends on what the Spurs organization wants to do, which I don't know either. I'm sure they're trying to figure out what's going on with Kawhi first. They have a good foundation with LaMarcus and Powell still there and Patty. Figure out what's going on with Kawhi and then make decisions from there. So Tony and Manu making decisions. Rudy, myself, and then those young guys. I said it's very interesting summer. We have so many free agents and so many guys making decisions and trying to figure out what they want to do and what they want to be.
Danny, could Tony and Kawhi function on the same team together after what was said by Tony and the injury and all the meeting and all that happened there late in the season? Are they on speaking terms? Okay.
I mean, come on. They functioned for so many years before that, and that what he said was taken out of context for sure. And it was nothing to be a shot at Kawhi or anything like that. Just Tony just talking and just, I guess, rambling, and something came out where it just sounded that way.
But Kawhi knows that too? Does Kawhi know that as well?
I'm sure he does.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not a team that beefs like that. They definitely speak. They on speaking terms, they're fine. They can play together just fine. Tony's coming in the career. He knows that, and he's had to take a back seat for a couple of years now. And Kawhi's been the guy. And there's no problem with that. They can play together just fine. And they know that we need Kawhi, and Kawhi knows that we need Tony and everybody else playing on good terms, on good cylinders, and make sure everybody's healthy. So we won championships together, and that included Tony and Kawhi. So, and Tony's more than enough, and so he knows how important it is. Everybody knows that the team is bigger than individual stuff, and so that little conversation or interview that has nothing to do. That's in the past now, and I'm sure they can function just fine. Their personalities they're fine on the court.
So if Kawhi ends up signing that Supermax deal, no issues in the locker room. I mean, everything in the room is okay. No healing process needed there.
No, there's never any issues in our locker room. There's no healing process needed. Our characters, our egos, our types of personalities that we have, has never been that. Spurs do a great job recruiting, good people at first, and nobody has hostility or animosity or any tension between each other. We just play basketball. Everybody's very professional.
That is the current San Antonio Spur. We hope to see him again next year, but that's certainly up to Danny. He's here on ESPN San Antonio.
No, he is going to be back in town next week. You've got your camp that you do every year. You do it in a number of cities, including San Antonio, June 23rd and 24th. Tell us about your camp, Danny.
Well, it's always a great time for me. I have a lot of fun. I get a chance to interact with the kids. I think this is year 2 or 3 we've done in San Antonio. We've got a chance to do more years in Corpus, McAllen, El Paso, and Laredo. But this is like year 2 or 3 in San Antonio. But it was a chance to interact with the kids in the area, have a lot of fun, teach them some fundamentals of the game and fundamentals of life, and also play against them a little bit. We have a camper counselor game. A lot of times kids get a chance to play against me and other coaches, and we have a lot of fun. We try to put on a show for the parents. And so it's a good time. We do 1 or 2 day clinics in these different cities, but San Antonio should be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it.
Again, June 23rd, 24th. It's not an expensive camp. Get your kids signed up. GoldLevelSE.com is the website. GoldLevelSE.com. You're going to do it over at San Antonio Christian School for boys and girls ages 8 to 15. Again, June 23rd and 24th.
I know a lot of the guys that you bring in to help coach, Danny, and those guys are top-notch basketball guys. It's a great camp, well-organized and well-run.
Thank you. Those guys are awesome, man. They're great. I enjoy working with them. I enjoy having fun with those my guys. Summertime is time for them. It's giving them an opportunity to work on some things with the kids and, have jobs and also play and experience different cities in Texas. So it's a lot of fun. And so they're very professional about it. They've done this before, and so they know what they're talking about. They've played and they've coached before. So it's a lot of fun and great for the kids to have them around.
Well, Danny, we want to thank you for taking some time out of your free time this summer. Regardless of your decision, we've been excited to know you as a Spur, to watch you grow, and we certainly want you to come back. That's one more pitch from us in San Antonio. Come back for another year, man. Let's make this run, and let's get a big deal next year.
That would be nice. So I'll let you know soon for sure. You'll definitely know.
I think that was saying he's going to come back on the air when he makes the decision.
That's what it was, right?
Is that what I heard, Danny?
Maybe. We'll see. I might be able to do that.
So you running for office after this?
No, I'm not doing that.
Danny, always appreciate it, man. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys.
Take care, Danny.